Well, Devin, your D5 is all finished. I went through and labeled everything on the transmitter. Let me back this up a little bit. Your top left button is your high and low range. So all it really does is just slows it down. There's lower range. It just slows it down a little bit so that it's not going so fast if you're pushing loose dirt. And it actually limits the travel on the drive channels, and also, of course, limits the power. But each drive servo itself has more than enough torque to motivate the entire vehicle. So even on low range, it's got more power than it has traction. And another thing I always make sure I say on these videos, I put real tall drive pins on the teeth on the drive wheels, so that when the tracks become very loose, the drive wheels won't slip on the tracks. But when the tracks are brand new, you see how every once in a while it rides up a little bit and crunches a little bit. It's going to do that for a good 15-20 minutes if you run it till the tracks start to loosen up a bit, because when they're brand new, they're real tight. So that is normal. There's nothing wrong with that. And let's see, lights. Well, actually, your beacon, the next one over is your rotary beacon. And the rotary beacon, let me get it where something darker behind it. It's a 4-mode beacon, so every time you flip the switch, it changes what the beacon does. And it's cool because you can actually turn it off if you want it off. And then your lights, your far right switcher for your lights, your tail lights and your headlights. I cannot block the view of the machine. There's your headlights. And you got your metal blade tip on there. And your drive is on the right. Here's your blade. Your blade is here on your left side. And then your drive is a right stick. So it's right and left and then forward and back. And then your sound system is on this left stick, and the sound system's like, I program all my sound systems the same way, just so that if you see another video of someone else's setup, they're all a good reference because they're all set up the same way. If you move it once to the right and once to the left, that fires up the engine. And then I always go. Then if you go 2 to the right. Now you're in the mode for the horn. And I usually leave it in that mode, just so if you're moving up and down, you might bump it. I made it so you have to move the lever pretty far before you hit the horn, so you probably won't bump it very often. And then the third mode, which is 1, 2, 3, that lowers the volume. And it's slow. You have to be patient. It probably takes a good 10 seconds to go from, like full volume all the way down to silent. And then to raise it, it's the 4th mode, which is 1, 2, 3, 4. That's mode 4. And there's your sound system. So it's nice to be able to both turn the volume down, or even if you want to just run it and not even have the sound system on, you could just drive it without the sound system. And you get a long life. The battery pack in the machine runs for close to 4 hours on one charge, and the transmitter probably 10 to 12 hours or more. So you don't have to charge your transmitter very often with the rechargeable batteries that are in it. So I think that's everything on the machine. Oh, your charging jack. This is your charging jack for the Dozer. The Dozer is a 5-cell, 6-volt nickel metal hydride pack, and you'll charge that at 1.5 amps. And the transmitter has a charging jack as well, and it's the same thing. It's got 4-cell nickel metal hydride pack in there, and they'll charge that at 1.5 amps as well. And your little green dash light, just to tell you the power's on. So I'll shut the power off here, and then that light goes out. Your switch is right on the right hand side, right beside where the driver's leg would be, and radio power switch is right here, and that shuts everything down. And I'll get this all boxed up and I'll ship it out tomorrow morning and get you a tracking number. Thanks again.